Let's talk about something that's quietly happening in so many companies. What happens when decades of experience, all that hard-won wisdom, just walks out the door for good? It's this silent pressure that's building. And today, we're going to break down how to turn this potential crisis into your single biggest strategic advantage.
So let me ask you straight up, what is the real cost? And I'm not just talking about the price of a farewell cake and putting up a new job posting. No. I'm talking about the deep operational knowledge that you just can't replace with a fresh resume. This is the big question we're here to tackle.
Okay, so let's put a number on this. 25%, 1 in 4. Right now, that's how many Red Seal trades workers are 55 or older. This isn't some problem for the future, folks. This is a demographic reality that is staring us right in the face, today.
And this quote it absolutely nails it. It's so easy to look at a wave of retirements and think, okay, we've got a staffing problem. But that's missing the real story here. The real issue, the thing at the very core of it, is a massive organizational brain drain. This is exactly what we're calling the looming knowledge crisis. It's not about filling seats. It's about preserving the very wisdom that makes a business actually work. So let's dig into the warning signs.
And look, the numbers here, they don't lie. We've got this huge group of senior experts getting ready to retire, but at the same time, the number of younger workers coming into the field is actually dropping. It's creating a perfect storm in really essential industries, like mining, construction, and manufacturing.
So what kind of knowledge are we talking about losing here? It's this stuff, intuitive knowledge. It's that gut feeling that knows exactly which machine sounds a little off just before it breaks. It's the workaround for some crazy problem that you will never ever find in a manual. You can't Google this stuff. It's earned through decades of trial and error, and it's the very thing that drives real innovation.
Okay, so if that's the knowledge at stake, what's the real cost when it just disappears? This is where the old way of doing things really starts to show its cracks.
Just look at the difference here. On one side, you have the typical fire drill, right? Someone retires, the company panics, they hire an outsider, and just cross their fingers. But on the other side, you see the hidden costs, and honestly, they're staggering. You end up paying more for someone who's going to take a year, maybe a year and a half just to get up to speed, someone who doesn't know all the unwritten rules, and whose hiring might totally demoralize the rest of your team. It's just a recipe for disaster.
But what if we looked at this whole situation differently? What if this overlap, having your senior experts working side by side with your ambitious younger folks, what if that isn't a problem we need to manage, but a golden opportunity we need to seize?
And that brings us right to the solution. It's all about seeing this moment as a huge opportunity in that overlap. It's about using the experience of one generation to supercharge the growth of the next.
So here it is. Here's the big idea, the real game changer. Instead of letting your experts just do their job until their last day and then walk away with everything they know, you redesign their roles. You shift their main job from doing the work to teaching the work, to mentoring and transferring all that incredible wisdom.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work in the real world? Let's walk through a concrete example with a clear playbook, the phased transition.
So picture a senior maintenance planner. Instead of a sudden retirement party, you create a 2.5-year handoff. In year 1, they start spending about a third of their time mentoring someone from inside the company. By year 2, they're shifting more into a coaching role. And in those last 6 months, they become a full-time knowledge anchor, a go-to resource. And, this is key, they do all of this while keeping their full salary as a thank you for their expertise. It's a gradual, controlled transfer of knowledge. And here is the business case. I know what you're thinking. At first glance, paying 2 salaries looks more expensive. But just compare it to the alternative. With an external hire, you're looking at a higher salary from day 1, plus a massive hit to productivity, huge training costs that can easily top 50 grand, and even the risk of a huge severance payout down the line. The phase plan saves a ton of money, it protects your company's knowledge, and it actually boosts morale. It's a total win-win. And beyond all the spreadsheets and numbers, there's a really powerful human side to this. This approach respects your most loyal employees. It gives them a way to ease into retirement, to leave a real legacy, and to end their careers with the dignity and honor they've absolutely earned. It's not just smart business, it's just the right thing to do.
Okay, so you're on board. How do you actually start building your own knowledge bridge? Well, it's probably more straightforward than you think.
It really just boils down to 5 clear steps. First, you figure out which roles are most at risk. Second, you look inside your own team to identify the talent that's ready to step up. Then, you build out those flexible transition timelines, you write the plan down, and, this is super important, you create feedback loops to make sure everything's on track.
Now, a huge reason this stuff failed in the past was that documentation was a total pain. I mean, nobody wants to sit down and write a 300-page manual, right? But that barrier is completely gone. With simple tools like speech-to-text on a phone, an expert can just talk through what they're doing while they're doing it. Capturing that intuitive knowledge has literally never been easier.
When you get right down to it, this whole thing boils down to a really simple but powerful idea. The goal isn't just to replace a person who's leaving. The goal is to use their departure as a catalyst to evolve the role, to strengthen the entire team, and to future-proof the whole organization.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own team or your own company. The next time that farewell cake gets cut, are you going to be scrambling to replace a person? Or will you be executing a plan to evolve your organization? The choice, well, it makes all the difference in the world.